Hot dog, hot diggity dog.
Now we got ears, it's time for cheers.
Hot dog,
the problem solved. Hot dog, diggity dog.
Bing, 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 bing.
Oh, hi, guys.
Any parent with a child under 10 years old knows the next line to that song.
They literally are like, either what the heck just happened, or they're like, I know exactly what's happening right now. Guys, welcome to Real Awkward.
Hi.
The podcast that makes you poop blood.
What?
Just you, bro.
Just you.
Oh, okay. And now I've lost all of our listeners.
You did that, not from that.
It's supposed to be the best damn podcast you've heard today.
Oh, God, I'm so glad you ladies are here to save me from myself.
Uh-huh.
My name's Andy.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Ashley.
And this podcast is meant to melt your brain because you guys are not ready for what is coming. You have three educated, former Blockbuster employees
Mildly educated.
who have seen many movies, sometimes not at all, depending on the actors that we do.
Yeah.
Check out a Street Cred.
Yeah.
Check out a 101 episode.
We know things.
Yeah, and stuffs.
Yeah.
Right.
Such as?
I feel like it's going to be on every episode.
It's gonna.
Guys, today's episode is about money, and specifically,
Cha-ching.
so people do this
Money.
all the time. Everyone's always like, what would you do if you won $1 million? What would you do if you won $10 million? What would you do if you won like lots of dollars?
Can you speak like that for the rest of your life?
Please don't.
But what we want to know,
What do you want for dinner tonight?
and what we want, pardon me, but do you have any Grey Poupon?
That's what I would do if I was a
What we
millionaire.
want
I
to
poop
know.
on everything. Have you seen that? Have you seen that commercial?
No, that's disgusting.
I poop on my hamburgers.
Ew.
Okay, what's that about?
It's
Grey
great
poop
poop
on,
on.
dog.
Oh, I get it. Poupon. What were we talking about? Right.
This is your topic,
yes.
dude.
So, are you ready?
Yeah.
So,
I'm ready.
Here is a question that hopefully you guys can get deep on.
Money, money, money.
Money, money. Winning the lottery is awesome, but what if you won unlimited money?
Okay.
All the monies.
All the monies you would ever need. So you could do it in however you want to imagine this happening. You reach in your pocket every time you pull out 100, whatever. In your checking account just says infinite zeros. Well, and hopefully a 1 in front of that.
Your checking account just 9999999.
Just goes forever. So
I always said that if I ever got to make one wish, it would be that magically whatever I was buying, I'd reach my hand into my pocket and there was the cash
and you
for
just
it.
have it. That'd be fantastic. I agree with that statement.
First of all, I think that if I won unlimited monies,
Unlimited monies.
I feel like I would have a hard time wrapping my brain around that.
Probably.
So I think most people, you guys can tell me if you don't feel the same way, but wouldn't you just sit there for like a day and be like, WTF?
I think I'd be like waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, like this isn't real.
Yeah,
Right.
to be like, okay, somebody's going to tell me there's a bank error in my favor.
Right.
And we walk away
Like,
and I win $20.
I've trained my brain my entire life to be conscious of the amount in my bank so that I am
Right.
not overspending or I make sure I'm paying all my bills. Like
You're
I'm
always budgeting in
conditioned
your
for
head.
that.
Do you think a product of money causes lots of people stress?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think that stress would like be gone?
You'd find a new outlet for it.
You would definitely probably find another reason to be frustrated with something.
I think that-
can't spend all this money.
I think that there would be a point where you have all that anxiety about like, got to make sure I'm not overdrafting. I got to make sure I'm not
Yeah.
spending above my means. That I think I know myself enough. I would still like compulsively check my account.
Right. It would take you time.
I still have this money, right?
It would take
Oh,
you time
yeah.
to
That's fair.
decondition from
Yeah.
having to check.
Yeah.
How long do you think that would take?
Depends how much money you have.
I think there would be many times though that you would just, I don't know. I think I would go.
You probably like without thinking about it, you would probably just check
Like
your
I'd
account.
have a hard time not looking at the price of something when I'm buying it, even
Yeah.
though I don't have to.
I know myself, and I would absolutely. It would get half a day, and then I would be like, "Okay, work.
400 cheeseburgers.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like it's like once you start
400
spending, then you're
cars
like,
and 400
okay, I get
guitars.
to keep doing this, and then I think it would get easier and easier.
I think for me, it would be once I got to the point where I had no debt, that I would be like, okay, whatever's left.
So now you'd breathe.
I-
Like, because you would, like, knowing there's absolutely nothing else. No one's coming after you. You owe nobody anything. Now you just set your sights on your future.
I think so because
Yeah.
okay, so let's just say, let's start let's just say $1 million first out the gate.
Sure.
Okay. If you remember the Disney Channel classic, Blank Check.
Oh, I remember.
Back
You mean
in
where
the,
he got $1 million?
Back in the
Mr.
90s.
Macintosh.
$1 million used to be a lot of money.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now it's not.
Yeah, 25 years ago, it was like, wow, that'll last me forever.
But truthfully, for most regular people,
Regular.
$1 million is still a shitload of money.
It's
$1 million,
life-changing.
yes.
It's life-changing.
$1 million would, I mean, even $500,000, right?
Yeah.
Pays
sure.
off all of your extraneous debt, and maybe you just have your house.
Yep.
Or maybe you pay off half your house.
Yeah,
and
you'd
you've
at least
got-
have like a blank slate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's fair.
But you know, if we're talking like Jeff Bezos money up in here,
Yeah.
I
Like even
mean-
Jeff Bezos couldn't spend all of his money.
no, he could not.
Yeah, at this point.
Truthfully, I think for me, it would be where I have nothing. I owe no one.
Right.
I'm just paying my regular old bills that come in.
Right.
It would still be a couple months, and then I think I'd get to a point where I was like, oh yeah, I can do anything. Like I can do anything I want.
Yeah. So wait. So now you were going off of the off of the take that it was $1 million. But
No,
are you just saying unlimited money?
No, I just mean like
You the 2 months would happen. You would still stay in your house within 2 months. You think?
I don't know. So let's say, for the sake of the argument,
Yeah.
we all have Jeff Bezos money.
Yes.
Okay? I know, like, okay, now, first thing you do, you get a money manager, bitch.
Wait, would you? Why? Unlimited?
Yeah, I mean,
You'd still get a money
Maybe
manager?
not, but like, maybe not if it was unlimited.
Yeah.
If there was a
Right.
finite amount
I mean,
of money,
to me,
like
Bezos money's unlimited, so I don't really
that's true.
see.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, I think I would. Okay, so like you start base, right? Like you pay off all your debt, you pay off your parents' debt,
Yeah.
pay
right.
off the people around you, you pay off their debt, and then the question is different. If you have children, you can't just gallivant around the world for the rest of your life. If you don't have,
Sure.
like, if you want them to be raised in a regular environment, you'd have to stay local.
How could you have a regular environment when you have unlimited money though? Like how my kids would have a water park in their backyard.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know. You would not be a normal kid anymore.
I think I would obviously, I mean, you'd obviously move.
I
But
think
I
so.
think that
Yeah.
I would, if I had all the money in the world, I would own, I'd own like a townhome in New York City. I'd own a home in Florida. I'd own a home in
Okay, so
California.
you would have lots of locations.
I would own
Sure.
a private jet in a private air force. In a private airport.
I would have my own Air Force.
I would have an Air Force that no one could touch me.
Amanda Force.
I would probably own multiple different homes or apartments or condos, whatever,
Yeah.
so I could go anywhere I wanted.
I
would,
like it.
I would own so much property
Right.
that if for some reason my money ever went away, I could just sell the property.
Yeah, you're like, I'll go anywhere.
You invest.
Do you think that at some point it would become stressful to have that much money
Because
Yes.
of managing it or because
because of
you don't appreciate it anymore?
well,
No.
I think part of it is that you don't appreciate it more. It's like, yeah, if you had a house in every location and you could fly anywhere, it's like, do you
Womp
do you find joy in anything anymore? Like when you
Yeah.
don't have the satisfaction of like, I've earned this.
Right. Because then it goes to the
think you-
human condition.
I think it would
Starts
go.
to like question that.
I think that at first you would appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then years down the road, you'd be like, my crappy old apartment and my crappy vacation condo. Ugh. Like,
You'd find
What if
you'd find reasons to have emotion.
Well, you'd find reasons
Yeah.
to be dissatisfied because you could have better. You could have more.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
no,
Sure.
no matter what you have can be not good enough because the sky is the limit.
I think that I would have to I'd have to create my own joy, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
You have to create it for yourself because at that point, you aren't working anymore. Why?
Right.
Why
Well,
would you?
And it can't be
yeah,
in
it would definitely not
yeah,
work anymore.
You can't find
Yeah.
joy in the stuff you own. You
No.
would have to create joy in experiences or
I can speak from experience when the pandemic happened and I was shut down, like not working or at least not having a routine to like go do something or some responsibility. It messed with my head to not have any of that stuff.
Well, yeah, you
Like,
have to have some type of routine.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's the thing is, like, if you okay, so imagine in your mind,
Imagine
you're at the point where all your bills are paid, everybody
Mm-hmm.
around you, you've already disseminated whatever money you want to give to them, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Now all that dust is settled. What do you do now?
Well, has that settled? Because if you're giving money to all these people around you and they know that you have unlimited money,
Right.
who's to say they don't come asking for more?
Yeah.
Or say, well, why don't I get some? That person got some.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking, like, you know,
Yeah.
you give some to charities, right? How much do you give them?
Right.
Which charities do you give it to?
Right.
Like, and then it becomes stressful because then it's like, well, I need to give it to everybody.
Right.
And I need to give them as much as I can or
Yeah,
as much as I want. Like, how much is it? How much is it that I want?
Yeah, you
to
get
give?
to dictate what that
Right.
number is, and then now they're why, but you have unlimited. So why'd you only give us 100,000?
Right.
Or why'd you give them $1 million and us only $500,000?
Right.
I feel like that burden would be very overwhelming.
Yes.
Of feeling like you couldn't make the right choice. So in a way, I can understand not doing anything with your wealth,
Just sitting on it.
because no matter what you do, you're going to make somebody upset.
You probably
Yeah.
just answered the reason why Bezos hasn't taken care of world hunger.
I think
It's never
that-
good enough. I don't know,
think
right? I
that
don't know.
It's very hard for me because I can say what I would do if I had his money.
Sure.
I can't be mad at him. He worked for that money.
Yeah.
Sure.
He built that business.
Right.
I can tell you that I would do everything I could to better the people in the world that I live in because it would only help me. It would only benefit
Right.
me.
Sure. Sure.
But at some point, does it also ruin the economy?
Yes.
Oh yeah, because it would put everything back to square one. If everybody has money, then no one has money.
If nobody has debts,
Right, because then you have no currency.
Then nobody needs to work.
Right. And then everything would just die.
Yeah.
It would just fall
Yeah.
down. It goes back to what Ashley said, where you have no appreciation anymore for the work that is done and or other people that are around you who are working to bring in a financial income to take care of themselves. You have to keep the infrastructure.
Like, would I send a check to every human on the planet? Absolutely not. Would I build maybe community shelters that would hire people to make sure that people are fed? Or, like, I'm sorry, like, if I was spending the money, homelessness, sorry, no, we're done. Like, it's done. Like, you could build 0 or low cost apartments that people could live in. But then it's one of those things where, like, I'm not trying to get political. Like, to me, if you want to come live in this low cost home, you can't. There's no drug use. There's no alcohol use.
Sure. I mean,
But
you could
some
have your
people-
rules and regulations
Some
and
people
stuff
don't want
too.
to make that choice.
yeah. So you have to create a boundary where it's like, just because I can afford to help you doesn't mean I should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also, if you eliminate jobs, you eliminate the medical field. You have something wrong with you. Why would anybody want
you
to take care
eliminate
of
every
you?
field. You eliminate
Everything.
farming,
Right.
Like construction.
So the
Like-
question is, where's the line? Right? Because right now I would say Bezos is over the line, but there's obviously got to be like $1 million isn't enough to help everybody.
No.
Not enough to help yourself. I mean, even houses right now here in Washington start at 500, 600,000,
Which is fucking
for like a regular. So you're already over your $500,000
Yeah.
that you had, and then everything else. What lasts you? Let's say you can squeeze 50 or 60,000 a year out. So cool, you got like 4 years, 5 years.
Well, if I only had $1
Maybe.
million, you invest.
That's a
You'd
smart
have
way
to
to
invest
move.
your
That's a
money.
way. That's a smart.
What would you
move.
invest it in?
Probably stuff that you know is never going anywhere.
Like what?
Amazon, Starbucks, Microsoft, Apple. Like,
Internet.
Or even like,
I'll
And-
invest in the internet.
and I say like not going anywhere is in like, eventually, yeah, it's going to end. But like in the next
In my
20 years,
lifetime. Yeah.
even gas, you'd invest
Sure.
in like these companies and stuff like that. Like that's what I would invest in, or invest in real estate.
I think real estate will never go anywhere.
But then
I think it'll have its highs and lows, but it will never go anywhere.
So let's say in the scenario where you have unlimited money,
Yeah.
what's the point of investing?
Oh, I wouldn't.
There wouldn't be a need.
The
There
only
wouldn't
thing
be.
I would do to invest is you'd almost have like a Shark Tank kind of thing where like people would come to you and like, hey, I have this great idea for a restaurant.
So you
Hey,
turned it into a game show.
I mean, not a game show.
I mean, it's like, come to me and give
Not
me
a
your
game
ideas.
show, but I just mean like you would almost have some type of thing set up where people could come
Yeah.
pitch something to you.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you'd be like, okay, I'll give you this much. And if you don't, if you don't have these kind of numbers by this time, then I want my money back.
I can only imagine, but why would you want your money back? You have unlimited.
Just like, I will no longer continue to support you.
What's crazy about that is you would end up controlling
Yeah.
like everything
Yeah.
because you can decide what makes it and what doesn't.
Yeah.
So-
And then I eventually run for president. I buy all the votes because probably, you could pay to fix up whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
But why would you even be a president?
No, because that's the job. That's stressful.
That's fair. I guess you're right.
See, the problem is that I feel like you have to have an end number that is realistic because when you go unlimited, you go so macro, right? Macro? Is that the right word?
Yeah.
You go so much that's like, what about the individual things that happen in your life? Like, I have so much money. What do I do with my kids? Do I
Yeah.
get a nanny? Do I
That's the thing.
do I build a school that only they go to? Like, what do you do from just your immediate family before you
Yeah.
move to the next circle?
I guess it depends what you want to do. If you want to travel, then you would pay a teacher
Right.
to travel
like a
with you.
like a tutor with you or
who
whatever.
lives with you.
Mhm. An
Your kid would
in-house
suffer
tutor.
from that
Yeah.
because they would have zero personal skills.
They would have no social
Yeah.
interaction. But also, their friends friends with them because they like them, or are they friends because you have money and you can buy whatever you want?
It
Yeah.
depends if you give them that money.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, would
but no, you don't have to give someone money for them to want your money. That I come over to, let's say I've got a little kid, his name's Joey, and his friend Zach comes over all the time. They seem to like they love playing with each other. They have a great time, but that's because Zach gets to play with Joey's go-kart track in the back, and he gets to play every video game ever made, and he gets to like
reap the benefits.
yeah, like we have our own steakhouse
Yeah.
inside the.
Oh,
The
that is
kitchen.
absolutely
I
one
don't-
thing I would do. If I was rich as fuck,
Yeah.
I would have a personal chef who
Oh, absolutely.
lived in my house.
I feel like there's a lot of people once they get to that route, once they get to that realm, like celebrities that make a lot of money, there's a lot of like personal chefs in their home cooking
I have to
meals.
say that this all sounds very lonely.
Yes, it
Right.
does.
Well, that's just it, is that when people say money doesn't give you happiness, I feel like short term it does. Right? Short term,
Oh, yeah.
you would have a blast. You could go wherever you want, eat whatever you wanted, do whatever you wanted,
Mm-hmm.
enjoy whatever you wanted, and then eventually, like you said, there's no more goal.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's no more like light at the end of the tunnel. You're in
Yeah.
the light.
Truthfully,
So where do you go?
If I ever won a substantial amount of money, I would tell very few people.
I think a lot of people do when they win the lottery.
I mean,
they try not to.
I agree that I think the thing that suffers the most is interpersonal.
Yeah.
Because also, your very best friends, assuming you're cool, but if you don't give them enough in their eyes,
Yeah.
is there animosity?
Well, right.
Are they
if
not
you
your friends
guys-
anymore?
If you guys won, let's say you guys won $10 million. Mm-hmm. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Because anyone in your circle or even friends of a friend would be like, well, they never gave you any money.
Calling you up. Hey,
Or if
you
they
remember that one time I let you
they
borrow
only
my
gave
math
you
book?
that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're,
Right.
You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I always said that, like, if I ever came into substantial money, I would, like, each sister, family member, like, grouping, like my mom, my dad, my sisters, whatever. You get you get $1 million. We will never talk about this again.
Oh, so that's the end. Like
You'd never ask
$1
me
million
for money or whatever it is, you
Right.
get.
That's a great deal for you to make, but
Sure.
who's to say that they're not going to discuss it with others?
Oh, sure.
Have outside feedback.
My sister gave me $1 million easy. Just said, don't talk about it again.
Sure.
You want me to ask her for you? I'll ask. See
Yeah.
if she can give you $1 million.
That's the
she
thing
has
is,
enough.
like I said, you're screwed either way.
yeah. I feel like you would go down a very dark, depressed path.
When you
I
have
don't
people
see
reaching
you-
out, say, hey,
Right.
how you doing? Remember me? Like, yeah, fuck off.
This happened. So I had a friend I used to work with at the photography company, and he wrote a Facebook message and said, here's the deal. I'm just letting everyone know. My father passed away, and I was given his inheritance. I didn't know. Like, his father was estranged or something from him. He's like, I didn't know, but I am now a multimillionaire. He's like, just out of nowhere. I'm going to tell you all right now, do not contact me asking me for money. Do not reach out to me if you never supported me when I was at my lowest. You don't deserve me at my highest. Like, he wrote this in a post and then vanished. That was it, dude.
Interesting.
Rad. Like, I was like, when I read it, I was like, damn. I was like, I was a really cool boss though. Like what do you think?
I always supported you. But I mean, honestly,
yeah, like, it happened.
I would never have posted that.
I think he did it because he was like, anybody that's looking for me or asking or whatever, I want you to know why I'm not responding
Like,
to
I
you.
see the writing on the wall,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna let you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he already said he had people reaching out.
Right,
like,
but
immediately.
that's hard to, like, you're cutting off people who, like, if you didn't have the closest relationship with them, if they were just acquaintances, like, well, now you're no longer my acquaintance because I can't trust you.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is going to get into some craziness, like, because we already know, right? Look at every friendship that you have or personal relationship. You already know what type of person that person is. You choose to have them in your life for other reasons, right? They make you laugh, you enjoy their time, whatever. But, like, don't you all kind of know how those people would react if you had money?
You think.
You kind of
think.
You kind of know. So you
I like to think that I would help people around me, but maybe I go full
Right.
Howard Hughes, start pissing in jars.
Like, yeah, I've never been in a position where I have an exorbitant amount of money, so I don't know how people would act around me if I had an exorbitant amount of money.
yeah.
yeah.
I've always been broke as fuck.
I do wonder if people would view you differently. Like, let's say you didn't do anything. You just had the money.
They would judge you either way.
You'd be effed.
If
Yeah.
you went full balls to the wall, like Bill Gates fundraiser, paying for people,
Yeah.
helping starving people, they'd claim you're trying to put tracking chips.
Yeah,
in
I was
people,
going to say, I don't think
right?
it'd be enough.
If you go
Yeah.
full
Yeah.
recluse, never come out of your hidey hole again, they'd criticize you
How
for that.
dare you not share that money to help the world?
If you just live your life trying to help maybe just your community, they'd criticize you for that.
Yep, it's not enough. Go bigger.
Yeah. Why aren't
went
you
too
helping
big.
more?
You're wasting time. Yeah. So so that really does mean that you're kind of screwed. Mm-hmm. So what we've just realized is that if you had unlimited money or Bezos money, as we have said, you would not be happy.
No.
So question is Bezos happy?
Probably not.
Prob-
I
It's
bet
not.
he absolutely is miserable on the daily. And he divorced with his wife, and she took a bunch of his money, right? Right? Alimony wise.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that was before the pandemic. He all right now.
No.
He did all right.
Yeah, when everybody bought from
Yeah.
Amazon
But
only.
anybody wealthy that you think about, it's like the Mark Zuckerberg.
Right.
Like, he
Right.
came into money and now he's under scrutiny all the time, going through lawsuits. Like,
Because it's from a company standpoint, though, not just the money. Like, it's because of the way he's ran Facebook is his issue. But I guess he got himself in that problem
but
because of the
people
success.
go where the money is.
Fair.
If you're going to
Yeah,
sue
that's
somebody,
true.
you're not going to sue your next door neighbor.
Right.
You're going to sue
You probably
the
won't sue
millionaire.
the butcher down the street.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Do you guys think that you would go? So Amanda started talking about, I'd go visit stuff. I would go check stuff out. I would
Yeah.
have multiple houses. Do you guys think you would go above and beyond? No pun intended.
Go to space?
Yeah.
No.
Fuck yeah.
Right?
No.
Fuck yeah.
You wouldn't
Well,
do
okay, hold
space,
on.
Ash?
Absolutely
You're
not.
good on this earth. You don't want to explore anything
I mean,
more.
this is a totally different topic, but I'm not somebody who feels like I need to know more than I need to know. If we knew nothing about space,
Yeah.
my life would be exactly the same.
You're good to go. Looking up and just, you wouldn't even wonder. It's a painting to you up top.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
If I had 0 children,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Space.
Having kids,
Yeah.
unless it was like, no, it's totally safe now.
Sure.
It's like a plane ride. Yes.
Well, this is one thing that doesn't change with us having unlimited money. Technology is still advancing where it's at.
Yes.
We don't progress it anymore because we have our money.
So-
Right.
like, so what current right now that's being made, rockets, spaceships, that type of stuff.
You could progress it more if you had money.
You could fund.
You
because
could do more
who-
R&D.
Who are the people with the money
Elon
that are
Musk.
holding things back?
Sure, that's fair. Sure.
Like, how long did the electric car get held back because of money?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. You're right. You're right because you'll pull from one other. So so you gatekeep.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the right kind of person, maybe it would be me, would just start like investing huge amounts of money in random shit just to fuck stuff up. like I'm gonna give $1 million to Greenpeace. Also, $1 million to the NRA. Let's find out. And then random other shit's gonna get money.
Fucking Dunkin' Donuts is now like a multi-billion-dollar company.
Just like, you know.
They might be already.
I would be so nervous to do that.
Oh God, it'd be
Like,
terrifying.
The effect that you would have on the world.
Oh, your therapist? I would probably just have a live-in therapist.
It doesn't have any bearing for you to have any money if the whole world blows up too. So it's like
Yeah.
you like Amanda kind of was hinting at, you would have to stay a peacekeeper.
Yeah.
Right? That you'd have to do your best to make sure that things don't go to shit, or otherwise what's the point of you having, but maybe that would give you purpose that you didn't have
Honestly,
before.
I think that it would be a few years of like living your best life
Yeah.
and then doing wild shit. And then you have a couple years where you're like Howard Hughes in it.
Right.
And then I think for myself, I would get to a point where I probably would just like, maybe I wouldn't go back to my job, but I would still do my job. Like, because that's what I liked. See,
Sure, because-
I like my job. I love my job.
But I think hobbies and passions, I think those can stay.
well,
Those can stay.
but it wouldn't be that I work for a living anymore.
Right.
I would do my job because I love my job. Or I would find some way to have that passion
Mm-hmm.
still incorporated in my
Yeah.
life. But I would do it on my own terms. And
Sure,
and
that's fair. Yeah. I want to do this once a day,
and maybe like
once a week.
I feel like I would end up, if you felt like I can't do anything on a large scale, then maybe you can at least improve the lives of the community that you're living in.
Sure.
But
that
I would
makes
want to
sense.
be treated as a normal person. So if I was like paying to fix up the park and fix up this, I would either have a fake name
Yeah.
or it would be an anonymous donor. Like,
Sure. Okay. That makes
So
sense.
if, let's say that you came into this money, it was nobody knew.
Yeah.
Not a single soul knew. It just showed up one day.
Sure.
Magic genie granted you this.
Secret.
Okay.
cash in my pocket.
How long would it take for somebody to figure it out?
Are we excluding partners?
You have to exclude significant others because you'd look at the bank account
They have
immediately
access to your bank account.
and shit yourself.
Or at least like Chris and I don't share a bank account. But if all of a sudden I'm paying big shit off,
Right.
he'd be like,
What's
what's going on?
Sure.
How'd you get that money?
What's going on?
So let's say your significant other knows. Those in your household know.
So we're clear within the immediate family in the household.
Sure.
Okay.
If your household was
Yeah.
aware,
Right.
how long would it take for people outside of your household to notice?
Okay, I know, number one, the first time that I pulled up in some $200,000 car, I mean, I wouldn't work, right? So that
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. But let's say Christmas party. Let's say I go to a family Christmas party. I roll up in a freaking Ferrari.
With a
They're-
Rolex.
Yeah, and they're going to be like, did Andy get a new
Or
job?
you literally just go to your mom's house.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right. If I roll up to mom's house, okay, and I'm just in like, a limo with bitches. Like
With
just pop,
bitches. 'Cause
I'm
popping-
out of the picture.
Popping bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you would have to decide to live your life in more of a sleuthy way.
Right. You couldn't do things that are flashy.
No.
I would see. I
Uh-uh.
think for myself, I'm a big person. A Ferrari ain't gonna work for me.
Yeah, it has to be practical.
But truthfully,
sure.
if I had all the money in the world, I'd still drive a normal car. I would just drive a nice one.
I'd get the Kia Plus.
No. Like I would probably just go buy a brand new car and pay cash for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what car?
I don't know. Have you seen the new Broncos?
They're pretty
Yes.
dope. I like
I
the way
love
they
I looked
look.
them up and they're too expensive.
girl.
I do like
I was
the way
looking
they
them
look.
up when I
though.
bought my Jeep, and I was
Yeah,
like,
they're beautiful.
Also, I've always wanted a Range Rover for some reason, like a Land Rover Range Rover.
Yeah.
They're like the luxury
Yeah.
They are.
SUV.
They are.
That's the kind of thing I would have. Maybe, or you go balls to the wall, get Escalade
I
spinners.
feel like in the short term, people would be like, Amanda's mishandling her money.
Yes.
Oh yeah, well that's what's funny because they would know
wow,
that you
how
want
much
it. Yeah.
debt is she in?
Jesus, Amanda, you went and bought that?
That's what it would be. It would be like your parent be like, honey, you're spending a lot of money right now.
You couldn't do.
And you're just
you
like,
couldn't go longer.
It's all good.
Than like 1 month. You'd go maybe a month, and they'd see your car. You'd be like, "Why have you
You'd
gone on
probably have
17 vacations?"
That's what I was gonna say. Within a
Yeah.
month or two, somebody would be like, they're traveling a lot.
They're
Would you-
not working.
Yeah,
They
could
have
you-
all this new stuff.
Would you
Yeah.
not be able to post on your social media either?
I would maybe.
Right?
You'd have to be very.
Like you're trying to be discreet.
You'd
you
have
would
to be very aware
Yeah.
of what you're posting.
Yeah.
Right? Like what? Literally, like Monday, Andy's posting pictures in Cabo. Day 2, Andy's all of a sudden in Greece. Like you'd be like, something's going on. There's something. He's either a supervillain or
Yeah.
something.
Well,
or
if you were
something's
trying
up.
to keep it secret, you wouldn't.
You
Like,
wouldn't post.
You wouldn't post anything.
Or you'd post like little, like you're not saying where you are.
I think this is kind of off the topic, but I think you'd also get tired of traveling.
Yeah, I was thinking that too when Amanda said that she
Yeah.
wanted houses in all these different
'Cause
places.
even-
that sounds exhausting.
Even a private jet, as cool as it is, it takes your ass
hours.
freaking 9 hours to get to Europe from where we are.
I just like the idea that like, you know, right now, if like Chris and I were looking at going to like, he really wanted to go to California. We're looking at San Diego.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then all of a sudden he was like, how much would it cost just to go to Disney World? And like I was like, dude, I don't want to be in a plane for that long.
Yeah.
Looking at Hawaii, I don't want to
Yeah,
do
5
that.
hours,
to
6
also have to
hours.
figure out the lodging and this and this and this. It would be really nice to be like, you know what? Fuck it. This weekend we're going here.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you don't have to have the brain work of like, where would I stay? Okay, let me look online.
But then,
let me
what do you
all this
do with
stuff.
those properties when you're not staying there? Then you have to pay for somebody to watch over them
Yep.
or to
You-
take care of them.
yep, you'd
or
have to
That
do
would
that.
be the benefit that the people who round me get is like, you can stay at my place.
You can
just
stay
gotta
at
like
any one of my houses.
you
yeah.
just gotta like clean the floor or whatever. You know, you
sure,
gotta make
until
sure
they
that
take
everything's
advantage
good.
of you and they trash the place, and then
Then
it becomes a liability.
you're off the list.
Right. So I just feel like there's
I love you. Yeah, you are off the list.
there's
now.
just no scenario where it's completely stress free.
Totally.
Like you could hire someone to deal with all of it, but then you're having to deal with that person that you've hired.
Yes.
So like there's always going to be responsibility
Yeah.
with your money.
Yeah. Who is so you've got unlimited money. Who's the very first person you surprise with a gift or something fun?
Other than your partner.
Yeah, because they already know. So you already got them something cool. Who's the person that's like, guess what? I now have unlimited money. Like,
Probably-
what do you do?
Probably my parents.
Like, pay off their house?
Yeah.
Something cool like that?
Because Lincoln wouldn't understand.
No. Yeah.
I could be like, Lincoln, I bought you a whole fleet of Hot Wheels. And he'd just be
He's
like,
cool.
cars.
Yeah. He's like, cool, mom. bye."
Probably, I mean, my parents and then you guys.
Okay.
Whoever
so,
I saw
Yeah.
first
so your
would get it
So your
first.
parents would, but is that what you would do? It would like pay off their house, or would you just buy them a new house?
Or just give them money.
I'd probably just give them money and they could do with it whatever they wanted.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I feel like I'm not that person. I don't want to just give only money. I want it to be like a cool surprise. Like I want to be like, here's a key.
Oh, no, let me be clear.
And then they
I
go
would
like
probably-
unlock their new mansion that's paid for. or-
My dad has always wanted like an old, like Cadillac convertible something. I'd probably be like, hey, meet me outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd probably drive up in the car.
Yeah.
Toss him the keys.
Yeah.
See-
and be like, oh, this is yours. I bought the house. I paid the house off too.
I'm really terrible at giving gifts.
Yeah.
Like I just second guess everything. So I hate it.
So this would be a nightmare for you.
Personally, I would rather just give cash.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that my gift giving ability would be any better if I had more money.
Oh, see, I feel like mine would be enhanced.
You'd be
to
like
its full
super
potential.
Yeah, but I would be like,
Superpowered.
okay, I just spent $200,000 on this gift, and what if they don't like it?
So who cares? You have unlimited money.
I'll buy you a new one. I'll buy you another gift.
But also, if they're
Sure.
unhappy with a $200,000 gift, then that
Then
person
fuck
probably shouldn't
off.
get a $200,000 gift.
Yeah.
Do you know me?
You'd re-buy me a gift. If,
I would
maybe
blame
not me, but
myself.
someone else.
I would blame myself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not good enough for you. I will go back and I will get something
That's
different.
so, dude. Anybody that rolled up, it's like, hey, here's your brand new like Ford Raptor 2022 truck that
wanted a
costs
Kia.
$140,000.
I wanted a Kia Plus.
Yeah, and they're just like, I don't know.
I really don't like that color.
Yeah, you'd be like, okay, number one, fuck off.
The only thing, if somebody bought me a car,
Yeah.
as long as I could fit in it, but like my only thought would be, as long as I can park it where I need to park, we're good. Like,
Yeah.
if like when I was living in my apartment, if I had all of a sudden went out and got this Gigantor truck or whatever, I would be like, I can't park this in my apartment.
I would also be like, thank you for buying me a gas guzzler. I now have to like maintain this.
That's just it. Is when we talked about where you draw that line at is if you're already, let's say you got Bezos money and you're going to buy somebody a $200,000 gift. Why not just go the $1 million, do the gift, and here's the gas card so you never have to pay gas again? Or like, guess what? You don't have to work anymore. Here's $10 million. Like, where would you draw that line? Like, number one, people are like, hey, I pay off my parents' house, make sure that they're safe, make sure they got good cars. But it's like, but you could do more. I will not just pay their house off, buy them a house, make sure that they've got the necessities and food and things that they need.
I think that as if you were able to stay grounded, I feel like it would take the right kind of person and the right kind of support system. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I could speak for myself, but like there would be a small group of people that like would be my support system, that like it would get to a point where it was like, dude, I got you, like whatever you need.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
That maybe now we all live in the compound together, or like,
yeah, I feel like we'd make a cult. Like,
and or maybe it just would become, we buy this huge property and there's 3 homes on the property, or whatever.
Right.
But like,
just buy a city.
Detroit.
Dude, you got Bezos money.
You can buy like a whole
city.
street in Detroit for not as much as you think. But
again, there's maintenance and responsibility that comes with that.
I just mean, like, for me, I guess Andy's question of, if I'm going to give him 1 million, why not 10?
Yeah.
Why not whatever?
Right.
I feel like it would be a small group of people, like, and I mean like 4 people,
Yeah,
like,
your
4 or
tight-
6
yeah, your
people.
tight circle,
the tight
yeah.
circle would be like, hey, we don't really talk about it. Just, I got it.
Yeah.
And don't screw me over. Like, I'm trusting you to not screw me.
I feel like
know.
that could also put other people in a difficult position. Because what if it's like, okay, I bought you this house so we can all live near each other and I'm going to take care of it. And then it's like,
I don't want to live
but
there.
what if I don't want to live there? What if I don't want what you're giving me?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Or, like, I know my parents, if I just showed up one day and said, if I just tossed my dad the keys to the car and was like, Merry Christmas, and then like, oh yeah, I paid off your house too. My dad would like,
He'd be like, no,
absolutely
no,
not.
it's too much.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you think your parents would react to that?
Well, my dad would be like, cool, you paid off your debts to me.
He's like, oh, so we're even now. Thank you. Freaking dad jokes, dude.
I don't know.
Right?
I honestly don't know.
That's why it's tough to draw a line. Because if you go too hard and like too much, either they're overwhelmed or they don't appreciate it. Or you go too little and it's like, got your house, cool. You got to pay the taxes on it. Bye.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
Like these people on these TV shows who win these luxury homes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they have to pay the taxes on this house.
Yeah.
Maybe they can't afford it.
Yeah. Especially because it's usually like a state not even like near where they live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sweet. 1 in Utah. It's not going to help me.
How would your parents react if you just showed up and you're like, paid off the house?
I know mom would be relieved. I think dad he'd want his own like music studio.
I mean, I don't want to speak ill of your parents, but yes, your dad would ask for more.
My dad would be like, hey buddy, I want to do a music studio and I wanted to do this. Like, you think we could swing something like that? He probably would start to put a hand out a little bit on that. Not to say I'm not grateful for what they did for me growing up, but I just know that's the mentality. I think mom would just be happy that she had a home and people around her family-wise just to live in for the rest of her life and not have to work.
Yeah.
I think that's all she'd want out of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think so. I think my sis, I'd probably buy her a new house, like to live in, and a car, and make sure that that's paid for. And again, if I had unlimited money, I wouldn't want any of them to have to work. Like I would want that to be an option for them. Like it's not up to me to play God to be like, well, I think you should have some responsibility, so you're going to work. Like for me, it's like, well, I don't want to work, so why should they want to work too? So that's where I would be with the family. I would make sure that they at least house, cars, and extra money to not have to work and like do whatever they wanted.
Thinking back to my parents, they don't have any debt.
I know, lucky them.
Well, must be nice.
But also
So,
they've
like,
spent
what am I giving
they've
you?
spent
Like,
65
here's a
years
trip?
doing that though. So
Yeah.
it's a different world, right? They've like showed, but I think for them, they've worked so hard to be there. Wouldn't it be nice to like not have any stress anymore at all?
Yeah, and I know my parents love to travel, so I know they would appreciate anything that would
They
allow them to do
stuff.
that.
Yep.
So I don't think they would say no.
Yeah.
I think they'd be grateful. But
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think my parents, I think my mom would be overwhelmed.
Sure.
Just kind of like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking, what are you talking about?
Right.
And then my dad would probably, I think he'd get mad at me. I think like we would eventually get in some kind of an argument, and then like the next day
Yeah.
he'd call me and be like, I love you, thank you, blah, blah, blah. But I think like because they wouldn't understand entirely, it would be confusing. But truthfully, if I had all the money in the world, we would sell my parents' house and they would just move in with
I
us.
think every single one of us would get our parents whatever they wanted for a new house.
Oh, for
right?
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they've all did the best they could, and that's where they're at now, but
Yeah.
they would all want more. Like, not more's the wrong word. They would want something different, I'm assuming. If that was an option.
As far as my siblings go, I would probably just because this is not meant to be a humble brag, because I'm a good person.
Yeah.
I would just be like, you have no debts now. You have
You-
nothing.
yeah, wipe that clean.
But then I think it would be more about making sure that my nieces and nephews will want for nothing.
Oh, sure. That makes sense.
Because
Yeah.
you're adults, you can still work, but now all your money is just going to make sure that you can continue to live the life that you want to live. Here, your debts are paid off.
Now, this money.
And I'd probably give them money too. But it would be more of like, and then here is a separate account.
Right.
Your children will never have to pay for college.
I was going to say, we didn't go into the parameters of how long this money lasts or whether if you pass, is the money gone
Well,
or whatever,
it depends what
right?
you do with it.
Then, right. But then it would be like, I want to invest. I want to set them up to succeed longer and that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think that the people that have done you wrong or the people that you used to be friends with and they fucked you over or whatever, how regretful are they in that moment? Do you think that they're like, oh,
I
man.
hope that they rue the day.
You just know, right? You just like imagine we're on the other side. Somebody else, Bezos Money, unlimited. You were really good friends, but you remember at one point you were like, "Hey, man,
You're an asshole.
F off, dude," and now you're like, "Why did I say that? Oh my god, I could be living the dream right now."
I mean, but that's assuming that you have the mindset that you would get some of their money.
I'm assuming that if it was a tight circle, like Amanda has talked about,
Yeah.
that it's almost. I know it sounds shitty, but it's almost expected that they would pay it forward,
That something would come your way.
right?
I think,
Sure.
Do you not agree with that?
I wouldn't assume that anybody would give me anything that is rightfully theirs.
I agree.
Sure. I mean, I understand that.
Because it's like I was about to pose a question to you guys. Like, if you won money, would you give me money or would you
Yeah.
do something? But it's also at the same time, in my mind, I'm like, they owe me nothing.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
people owe me nothing. I think for me, if somebody that I unfriended years ago, we weren't friends anymore, ex-mother-in-law or something, right? Like whatever. If they came into money,
Yeah.
I would just kind of be like, well, good for them.
Yeah.
I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I know for me, I'd probably be rubbed raw a little bit because I would be like, in my eyes.
It could have been me.
Yeah, well, in my eyes, I'd just be like, why do the shitty people get the good stuff? Because remember,
They're shitty to you.
you're always your hero in your story.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Yeah, you really think highly of yourself.
yeah.
When if you got
Yeah.
money, somebody else might be like, "Why does
Her-
Andy get
Why?
it?"
Why?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
He's
I think
infertile. Why does he get money?
How's that?
that.
relevant?
Yeah, how is that doing anything? I think I would just kind of be like, I think I would have the. It's like,
That's
well,
my trade.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks, but good for them. You
So
know, like
do you guys feel like we're missing anything? I feel like we're really good about. We could speak about the tight circle, and then we can speak about like the huge impact we'd have like on a global scale. But like, is there a mid range of things that you could do, say that we're totally missing
I
with
don't know.
having
What
money?
you want to be like Drake and just like peel off hundreds off a huge stack and just hand them to people as you walk down the street?
Well, sometimes I wonder what you need to make your life interesting. Like, why would you not just do that type of stuff?
So I feel like it'd almost be
could.
better to give randomly
yeah, I see that.
than
Sure.
to have a pointed like
Yeah.
reason why you gave somebody X amount of money. Like,
Yeah, you could.
I would
so
do.
you just be like totally random.
I would do fun stuff, dude. I'd like buy a bunch of
I-
PS5s for kids for Christmas.
I would be
and, like,
nervous about what you would buy.
why would you be nervous? If we have unlimited money, who cares? I make a mistake or I do it wrong.
I'd be like the person who walks into like the Toys R Us. Well, first of all, I would fund Toys R Us to come back in business. But then I'd be like the celebrity that walks into the Toys R Us, and I would just like, I'm buying every kid in the store everything they want for the next hour.
Oh, that is one thing I would do. I'd bring back old stores we used to love. Who cares if they're not going to work?
You're funding them. Who
I'll
gives a fuck?
fund them forever. That's freaking rad, dude.
I am somebody who doesn't like stuff.
Yeah. Stuff.
I'd prefer to like live more minimally.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it would make me nervous because Auntie here
we no,
a
no.
stuff buyer.
Listen, honey, you get with a house and I would get a
That's
house.
what exactly what I was about to say.
and
That's what I was
that
about to say.
would ruin our relationship.
This would be Andy's fun house, and then it would be Ashley's
No, so what
minimal
you
house.
do-
There is no winning in this scenario.
No, babe,
Custom
same
build.
property. It's just that I get my space to
He
do
gets
whatever.
his hoarder
and
house.
then where does your sister wife get to live?
Sister wife.
No, see, here's what I think. You guys custom build a home where the center of the home is like your master bedroom, but then on the left side of the house is Ashley's house. On the right side of the house is Andy's
So
house.
we're your grandparents?
But it's just a really big house.
Oh, it's huge.
It's very different.
I don't want that.
But Andy gets to hoard out his side,
Yep.
and you get to have the nice, clean
You know,
other
but
side.
for that being said, the reason collectors collect is because it's hard to get the stuff, and once you have money, you can buy whatever you want. So you probably wouldn't enjoy the hobby as much to do that type of stuff too. So could be a deterrent. Just saying.
Okay,
Maybe
quick fire.
Yes, do it.
I know we're at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
If you woke up and you had $10 billion in your bank account, you verified it's real.
Okay.
First thing you're going to go buy.
Pots and pans.
Oh my God, you're so boring.
You're
I
so
love it.
middle-aged.
A new lawnmower.
No, I feel like I would start small.
Yeah.
Because first I'd be like, well, what are all the things I've been thinking of that I want
Yeah.
to
Okay.
replace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then I would go bigger.
10 million.
I'm just saying, like,
First thing that you would do, 10 million.
you wake up, you go, okay, it's real. What do I do?
I would quit my job.
No, like, what is the first thing you'd buy?
First thing you buy. You didn't listen to the question.
Okay. My freedom from my job. Okay. So what I would do is I'd probably book a vacation. That's probably
Fair.
the very first thing I would do. I wouldn't
Where?
go buy stuff.
Where?
Dude, we've always wanted to go out of Florida on a cruise. I'd probably do something fun like that first.
You gotta get your passport first.
Shit. There's all these steps.
Yeah.
Can you just buy the passport company and then have them like help you out there?
I think that's federal.
So I'd want to do that. If it had to be a material thing, though, I'd go find myself like a place with internet. I'd probably go house shopping or something like that because I'm so tired of it. I'd probably buy a new house. I probably would go look for a new house. 10 million?
Fair.
Yeah. I don't know. I might pay this one off just for fun so then I don't have that to worry about, then go look for a new house.
Fair.
Okay.
Okay, what about you?
I have no idea. I was like, I hope they don't come back to me.
No,
Like,
no. She's like quick fire and mine always takes half an hour, so.
God. Honestly, I know myself. I reward myself with food. I'd probably go buy lunch. I'd probably go
No,
like.
remember? 100 cheeseburgers.
I'd probably just like. I think it would be like, okay, where do I start? And then like in my errands, my day, I always go get like Starbucks or an energy drink or something.
Isn't that funny that you like? It's so little though. Like you have 10 million, and like all you want is a Starbucks drink.
Well,
I wouldn't make it that far. I would buy something on my phone on the way to Starbucks.
that's what I'm trying to think of. Like, okay, what?
Like you'd be on Wayfair
Yes,
or something like that.
What
yeah.
like I was trying to think like what big
They got just
thing
what I
have I
need.
wanted to buy for a while, and
Yeah.
like I don't know. It would probably like be some really expensive like vinyl records that I've never wanted to buy because or some Loungefly bag that I'm like, it's collector's edition. I don't want to buy it.
Funny, look, we are just the wrong people to have this money because we just want like some little stuff. Like
Well,
in the grand scheme of
I
things,
just
it's
wonder
some little
though if I
stuff.
wouldn't want the things that I have been wanting anymore because I can go bigger.
Yeah.
Well, sure.
Probably.
I mean, honestly, okay. No, here's what I would buy. I would log into Lowe's and I would buy the fleet of like the new but retro inspired kitchen appliances.
Oh, okay,
Like,
sure.
It's a retro looking fridge, but it's a new fridge. And like it's a really old school looking oven, but it's a new.
But how do you know
oven.
they're going to fit in the new house you're going to buy?
Then we build the house around the appliances, baby.
It's so funny, just like a square with all the appliances, and then you build the house around it.
I think truthfully is the thing where like if we were planning to stay in our home for a while,
Yeah.
I would immediately make a phone call to a contractor and just be like, okay, here's what I want to do.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like if I want to stay here for 10 years, I want to live how I want to live for 10 years.
So, question to our listeners. Thank you for hanging out.
If you're still listening.
What
Yeah.
would you do
What's the very first thing you'd go buy?
with Bezos money / unlimited money / $10 million? We haven't drawn the line yet.
But I mean, yeah, come on, be clear. If you were like out to be like, okay, I'm going to go spend some of this shit.
Yeah.
You'd stop and get a drink or some food.
Oh yeah, dude. I just think it's funny to win Bezos money and be at Taco Bell. I just think it's incredibly awesome because that's who we
Are you about
are.
to say that if you were a fucking bajillionaire, you would stop eating Taco
Oh
Bell?
no, I'd eat Taco Bell. I just don't know if that's the first place I
Bitch,
would go.
I would own the franchise. I would own Pepsi Incorporated.
I'd have a Taco Bell
that
in my house.
Oh my God, could you imagine? I didn't even think about that.
Can you
Oh my
imagine?
God.
Mexican pizzas are back, bitch.
That I could eat Taco Bell whenever I want.
Anytime you
oh
want.
God, I'd be the mom from What's Eating Gilbert. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Honestly, I would probably start
I love
buying
it.
companies that I like.
Fur. And fur. I'd buy fur.
I'd buy Taco Bell.
Guys, tell us what you would do. What would you do with the money? Like, if you had unlimited money, give us a detailed explanation.
No,
No.
that's not what I
Quick.
want.
Under
First thing-
5 words or less.
First thing
5
you'd buy.
words.
Yeah, because I got to post it in the polls.
Yeah.
Okay, 5
here's
words.
Here's what's going to happen. Head over to our Instagram
Yes.
at Real Awkward Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I will do my best to remember to post a poll. First thing you're going to buy if you have Bezos money.
Yeah.
I bet most people are going to say like Starbucks.
I think
like
it's,
a
no. I
drink.
think most people will say car or house. I'm going to put my money on that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Car or a house.
Or at least just like pay off my car, pay off my house.
I feel like we need to have a caveat though of like not including paying off debt.
Yeah,
Oh,
first
I
thing you're
see.
going to
I,
go.
Okay,
I feel like
sure.
that's everyone's instinct to be like, pay off my debts and then I'll go buy stuff.
Right.
Yeah, first
Like,
physical thing.
what's your first frivolous thing?
Yeah.
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 I like it.
Yeah.
Taco Bell Incorporated.
Taco Bell. All right, awesome. Guys, thanks for listening to episodes about monies.
Yeah.
We will talk to you on the next one.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.